നമസ്കാരം. Having done fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, we are now to move Karma Sannyasa Yoga, chapter 5 of Bhagavad Gita. Earlier, when Arjuna was in real distress, first Bhagavan started with Sankhya Yoga, then Karma Yoga, then Bhagavan started explaining Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Now we are on the fifth chapter, which is Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Some textbooks call it as Sannyasa Yoga. Having heard about Karma Yoga and Karma Sannyasa Yoga, which was really glorified in each sloka by sloka, taking examples from Acharya, Bhagavan so far described its glories. So it is natural when two things are explained so well, a disciple like Arjuna got confusion. Now his question is, what is really good? Is it Karma Yoga is good or Karma Sannyasa Yoga is good? That is where the chapter starts. Sannyasa Yoga starts with the question from Arjuna. But then, as usual, Bhagavan connects with the Sankhya Yogam, previous chapters, goes to Karma Yoga, Karma Sannyasa Yoga, and ultimately the essence of this chapter will be describing, glorifying, talking about the great Atma, Samadarshis, Tattvadarshis, and about Jivan Muktas, those who attained salvation by their actions, and therefore giving examples of what makes great. Before going to the chapter sloka by sloka, let us look at these chapters where, if you look at the first few chapters of Bhagavad Gita, 1 to 6 talks about a self, about a profession, about work, about ego, as a student, as an actor. These descriptions are not from any authentic gurus. These are all some interpretations from my perspective. If you look at up to 6th chapter, you know that there is an actor, there is a student, and the performance of action and the ego is what is being discussed here. So the first one is very prominently a lamentation, a cry or a depression, a sad mood of the student. Then Bhagavan describes the content of Gita, a summarized one, and says that keep your identity. The whole crux of Bhagavad Gita is given as a identity. That is what Sankhya means, lot of logic. And third chapter is to remind the job and profession of the student or the actor. Now the fourth chapter was mainly to know what is passion, what is devotion, how to get your job totally involved, how can you make your profession or a activity which you do or a job which you do totally dedicated. Now what will be the next chapter, fifth chapter, Sannyasa Yoga, which we are going to see, which will be the second, third and fourth. That means both karma, sankhya, karma sannyasa, jnana, all that together, how is it going to affect the sad mood of Arjuna? Therefore, how the peace, ma shucha, that is the message. Total message is ma shucha, don't be cry. How is it going to establish the no cry, the peace, which is the ultimate aim? So how does it happen? It comes from the Atma inside. It goes for a Samadarshi Bhavana or a Jivan Mukta concept, the salvation concept, the Sannyasin concept. That is how it is going to get established. And the next chapter, sixth, will be a self-reconciling and an afterthought. That is what is going to happen. Maybe as we proceed, we will look at the next bunch of slokas or chapters from 7 to 12 as a bhakti concept, as a director, a company or a film producer. The inner self is going to act. And then 13th to 18th will be jnana, how it works in each one of us, like a contract or a bondage. But you are in the hands of best advisors. Therefore, assess all the people around you. These concepts will be established from 13th to 18th chapter. This is to look at Bhagavad Gita from a different style. So what is the ultimate aim of all this, and which you can see as an essence in this chapter 6th? Because it is Karma Sannyasa Yoga. That is ultimately what Bhagavan wants Arjuna to get into. This will become a Samasta Vedanta Sara Sangraha Surupa or the Rupam, which gets into the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Or that is what is Bhagavad Gita. That will get established in this chapter probably. Or maybe in the next chapter, in the sixth chapter, what we are going to see is the real meditation. The samadhi is what is going to be seen in the chapter 6th, which is going to be prerequisite for samadhi as dhyanam. So before getting into samadhi, the dhyanam has to come. So before getting into dhyanam, getting into atma samyamanam, Bhagavan decided to give in this chapter, 5th chapter, the total wisdom. So that wisdom is what we are going to see here. So before getting into dhyana, which is going to come as 6th chapter, before dhyanam, you must get into that wisdom where you will become eligible for dhyana. That will become the prerequisite for samadhi. So better to learn the lower level activities in the yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana. So this is like a dharana. That is why the sannyasam comes there. To indriya, buddhi, manas, control the self, control alone, control the inner self. That is what Karma Sannyasa chapter 5 is focusing to. So learn the happiness of renunciation. After getting into the stable intelligence which gets you close to God, get into the transcendental knowledge, thus leading to total peace, total inner peace. realizing the higher truth by yourself, unmasking the outward self. All this is what is going to happen. Whereas once that is done, you get into your own individualistic, your own internal self, Atma, Jivatma, that can take you towards Samadhi, closer to meditation. So it's like a contemplation. It's like you looking at your own subject self. Therefore, this chapter will give you what really is that comes in the level of knowledge which leads us to the soul within us, then remain as totally a inner person by himself. Here the chapter starts with Arjuna's question, only one sloka, and the rest of the slokas, 29 slokas, out of which one is Arjuna, the 28 slokas are Bhagavan describing what is renunciation, transcendental action, karma vairagya yogam can be called. How do you get total vairagya without any expectation from the karma? The renunciation of work versus the work with the devotion. Say, okay, I don't want result, therefore I don't want to work. So that is called a renunciation of work. You get out of the work. You don't want to do work. Inaction. We heard earlier. The karma can be sakarma, vikarma, akarma, all that. That already Bhagavan explained in the earlier chapters. Here, work with the devotion. How can you be a purified man, wise man, who attains the salvation level? Salvation is actually sannyasa. So there are two things. One is yogi and one is a nyasa. That discrimination can be seen by the purification process of everything what we are going to see. So this is the yoga of renunciation of action. Action in total devotion. This chapter has got 1, 2, 3, 4 different aspects, 4 different bunch. One is Sankhya Yogam and Karma Yogam explained in the first few slokas. As he keeps on, Bhagavan always keep a continuation to the previous chapters. So sloka number 1 to 6. One is Arjuna's question. Then the rest of the 5 slokas are on the Sankhya Yogam and the Karma Yogam. Then sloka number 7 to few slokas in that count will be based on a Sankhya Yogi and Karma Yogi. As a yoga, how is it get to know which are the characteristics, the lakshana, characteristics of Sankhya Yogam and the Karma Yoga, so that you understand the importance of yoga itself. From sloka 13 to 26 is basically on Jnana Yoga. So here also that Jnana is given again importance, because large bunch of slokas, 14 slokas are on Jnana Yoga out of 28. Half of that is dedicated to Jnana. As earlier also we were discussing this, Bhagavan always gives maximum importance to knowledge. Jnana is more important. The last concluding few are taking us to the next level with bhakti and dhyana, so that it becomes an introduction to the 6th chapter, Dhyana Yoga. That is what going to happen. So probably in 2 days, today, tomorrow, maybe day after tomorrow, 2-3 days, we must be able to finish the 5th chapter. So hope you have your text and you have the verses in front of you. That will help you to understand And one of the most important aspect, if you go in between the lines, not many textbooks explain this, you can see different aspects of sadhana practices which are prescribed in between the lines. As and when it becomes clear, we will put a torch on that. What are those characteristics? Renunciation, karma, practicing, how to practice earnestly, commanding over the senses, disciplining the body, detachment. How do you absorb the fruits of work? How do you get into your own body, refuging inside your body? Self-realization, responding to Brahman, maintaining the serenity, the cleanliness, eschewing the delusion, confusion. And how do you get the equanimity? Earlier also there were mentions. The pleasantness, unpleasantness, the descriptions of this. Disaffection towards the worldliness, the materialistic world around. Meditating upon the Brahman. Finding no joy in your sensory organ, sensory pleasures. And then devotion to service. The controlling the divine blessings are used for controlling your desire and anger. So controlling the vision, disciplining life itself. These are all different patterns probably we can see in between some of these slokas. So let us, as usual, go through the verses. Probably the first bunch up to 6 is one set. So we will go through that, which will describe Brahmacharyam, the Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and all that we have. The styles of bhakti which you require can be established by looking into this. Because you understand what is sannyasam in the true sense, purifying everything. Sannyasam is nyasam, that is purification. So that is what we are going to see. So Arjuna uvacha sannyasam karmanam krishnam punaryogam cha shamsasi yat sreya edayorekam tanme bruhi sunishchitam. Sri Bhagavan uvacha. That was a question for which Bhagavan gives answer. Sri Bhagavan uvacha sannyasa karma yogascha nisreyasakarabhau tayostu karma sannyasat karmayogo vishishyate neyasa nitya sannyasi yo nadveshti na kamshati nirdvando hi mahabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate. Sankhya yogau pratak bala pravadanti na pandidaha egamupyasthitah samyak ubhayor vindade phalam. Yat sankhya prapyate sthanam tadyo gairapi gamyate egam sankhya cha yogam cha yap pashyati sapashyati. Sannyasastu mahabaho dukkha aptumayo gataha yoga yukto munir brahma nachirenadi gaschati. These slokas are to take us to from karma sannyasa to karma yoga through the Supreme, to reach up to the Supreme. That is what these slokas are meant for. So what is the confusion which Arjuna had even after listening to Bhagavan on Sankhya Yogam, Karma Yogam, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yogam. The previous 3 chapters, after describing what is Arjuna's state, Karpanya Dosho Vihada Swabhava, all that is over. In 3rd chapter, Arjuna started Jayasi Chet Karmanaste Mada Buddhir Janardana Tatkim Karmani Gore Mam Niyo Jayasi Keshavaha. And Bhagavan said, Logains mean Divida Nishta. There are 2 types of Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Then after having told Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, again the description from the Karma Sannyasa Yoga and Karma Yoga came. But 3rd chapter, beginning itself, Bhagavan made there are 2 types of Nishtha. Divida Nishtha. 2 types of Nishtha is there. But then Bhagavan described many other Nishthas also. So it is natural that a good student who listens carefully will have lot of doubts. So, what is the doubt which Arjuna had? Arjuna uvacha sannyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha shamsasi yat sreya edayorekam tanme bruhi sunishchitam. Sannyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha shamsasi yat sreya edayorekam tanme bruhi sunishchitam. Tell me the one, only one. Don't tell me too many things. But when Arjuna is asking, tell me one, Bhagavan will tell another 3. Earlier also, Jayasi chet karmanaste mada buddhir janardana tatkim karmani ghore mam niyojayasi keshavaha. That confusion was the question which Arjuna put. Immediately Bhagavan said, Logesmin divida nishta. 2 types of nishta is there. Now here let us see, Bhagavan is going to lead him towards bhakti. So here, sannyasam, renunciation, karmanam, renunciation of action. Krishna, hey Krishna, punar yogam cha shamsasi. Again, about karma, yogam is karma yoga here. There is a sannyasam, detachment, renunciation of the result of the work. There is a renunciation of work itself as the karma yoga, fully devoted to that. Cha shamsasi, your praise on all of them I heard. You have praised sannyasam, you have also praised jnanam, you also praised sankhya, you also praised karma. All that is what you so far said. Because you praised each one of them, you have said this is higher, that is higher, this is Rayam, that is higher than this is higher than that, getting this, that and all that. I got really confused. Yat Sreya, so okay, don't tell me all that. Tell me what is Sreyam for me. Yat Sreya, which is more beneficial for me. How you should tell me? Etayo Regam. Out of these, tell me which is the one which I have to do. Tanme bruhi. Don't make me to think. You think. For my benefit, you think. So nishchitam. And with clarity. Conclusive. Sunishchitam. Nishchitam is determining, deciding. This is what you should do. Tell like that. This is what I should do. One activity only, not many. Don't confuse me. So here, the Sankalpa Vikalpa thoughts in the Manas. This way or that way. That is Sankalpa Vikalpa thoughts in the Manas. They reflect anything. And Nishchitam should happen from the Buddhi. The definiteness, deciding authority is Buddhi, intelligence. So you use your intelligence with all that thoughts inside that and tell me which is good for me. Arjuna uvacha sannyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha shamsasi yat sreya एतयोरेकं तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्. What is Bhagavan's answer? Sloka number 2. Sri Bhagavanuvacha. Bhagavan started giving his explanation. He started giving. Sannyasa karma yogascha nisreyasa karavubhau tayostu karma sannyasat. Tayostu karma sannyasat karma yogo vishishyate. Karma yogo vishishyate. Sannyasa karma yogascha nisreya sakaravubhu tayostu karma sannyasat karma yogo vishishyate. So clearly Bhagavan is giving an answer here. What is the answer? Both the karma sannyasa, renunciation of actions, and karma yoga, work with the devotion, there are two. What is superior? Karma yoga is highest always. Why karma yoga is highest? The renunciation itself is in the karma yoga. Therefore, karma yoga is essentially required for karma sannyasa yoga. So when you compare karma yoga and karma sannyasa yoga, if you don't have karma yoga, karma sannyasam doesn't come at all. The renunciation of the result of the work has to come. First you should do work. Therefore don't renounce work. Getting rid of work, running away from work is not at all what is recommended. Do work. Do work in total devotion. That is most important. Bhagavan, nissamshayam. Activity is more important than keeping quiet. Therefore sannyasam is not idleness. Sannyasam is being active and then don't think about the result of the action and don't be in the materialistic world. The passion with your senses should be out of you. Sannyasa, that is what is nyasam actually. Sannyasa, karma yogascha, renunciation, work in devotion, that is important. That ni sriya karavubhau lead to the supreme goal. Takes us to the supreme goal. Both will take to the supreme goal, but essentially is tayostu karma sannyasat, renunciation of action, and karma yoga. If you compare, karma yogo vishishyate. Karma yoga is always superior. So you must get to karma yoga. Clearly Bhagavan gives the description. So what is that? Sloka number 2. Let us chant once. Nishkarma karma yoga is what is essential. That is what the rest of the slokas are also going to be established. From this sloka to the next 5 slokas are only on this. So what does it say? Karma is important. So in the Purushartha which we explained earlier, Brahmacharyam, Garhastyam, Vanaprastham, Sannyasam, which is the most important stage of life? Garhastyam. That is where the karma is given most importance. Brahmacharyam is where learning, that jnanam comes. That jnanam is essential for doing karma. But getting more action into karma, that jnanam will get stabilized. The skill will add experiential knowledge. Viveka, Vivechana, Buddhi will become stronger. That is what is essential. From there, you could go to a detachment mode. That detachment mode is called the Vanaprastham. Vanaprastham is not going to forest. Vanam is forest. Vanam is Akash, sky, Gham, space. What is the beauty of space? It never get any attachment to anything. Let you pollute the space, immediately Akasham will get clean. Let the aeroplane makes a mark in the Akasham, immediately the sky will throw it off. Only for some moment you will not get attached to any of these marks. So that is the beauty of Vanam. So the Vanaprastham should come, then Sannyasam. Your detachment should happen. Detachment is Vanaprastham. Getting detached, then go to the Kevala Avastha, the Bhakti Avastha, the Sannyasam. So here, that is the stage in which Bhagavan is explaining this. So that is clearly explained here. Sannyasa karma yogascha, Bhagavan uvacha, Sannyasa karma yogascha, Nisreyasa karavubhau, Tayostu karma sannyasat, karma yogo vishishyate. Karma yogo vishishyate. Now sloka number 3. Neyasa nitya sannyasi yo na dveshti na kamchati nirdvando hi mahabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate. Naya neya sa nitya sannyasi. Neya, it has to be considered. What should be considered? Sa nitya sannyasi. Such sannyasi practicing renunciation with all those people. Yo na dveshti na kamchati. No dveshti, no hate, no hatred. All those people who are free, liberated, real karma yogi will never have hatred towards anything. Na dveshti, na kamchati. What they will not have? Desire will not be there. Kamchati is desire. No desire, no hatred. They are free from both hatred and desire. Then only they can be called as free people, liberated people. A real karma yogi is one. They don't have na dveshti na kamchati. Nirdvando hi mahabaho. Nirdvando, free from all these dvandvam. Which is the dvandvam? Dveshti and kamshi. Attachment, desire to have that selfishness towards all the materialistic, and liberated freedom, which means you don't have hatred, you don't have desire. That dvandvam, nirdvando, both are not there. See, you think about having desire, having anger only when you have that inside you. Without having that bhavam, then it will become nirmamata. Nirmamata is, I don't know what is hatred, I don't know what is attachment. Having no attachment, no desire, no hatred is a different aspect. I don't know what is desire, I don't know what is hatred is another. That is being inside such a stage. So nirdvando means they don't have such, they don't know what is it. He mahabaho, a strong-armed man, that bhavam is stronger, which is essential. Whenever Bhagavan has to say this part of the manas, atma, buddhi is more important, he will call a strong body man. That means that is not important. We should understand like that. Sukham bandhat pramuchyate. Sukham bandhat pramuchyate. Bandhat, free from that bandham, will lead you to sukham. Sukham bandhat pramuchyate. You will get liberated and you will reach into sukham only when you renounce the desire and the hate. The real karma yogi can get free from all this attachment and gets liberated. That is what Bhagavan says. So karma is important, but as important is you must get liberated from the dvandva avastha of desire and anger, dveshti and hatred and desire. Both should not be there. Neyasa nitya sannyasi yo na dveshti na kamchati nirdvando hi mahabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate. Clearly the method prescription for getting to the higher self is what Bhagavan is explaining here. That's already few points have come. That is renunciation and detachment, free and liberated, renouncing the duality, all that is explained. Now sloka number 4. We will see few more qualities. Sloka number 4. Sankhya yogau pruthak bala pravadandina panditaha egamapyasthat stitha samyak egamapyastitha samyak ubayor vindade phalam Sankhya yogau pruthak bala pravadandina panditaha egamapyasthita samyak ubayor iva vindade phalam. What is practicing in earnest? Sankhya will become equal to Karma Yoga. That is what is going to happen. Your logical thinking, Sankhya Yogam, the logical buddhi acting onto that, on what? And renouncing the action. Action is not renounced. The result of the action is renounced. Sankhya Yogau Pruthak Bhala. Ignore, ignorant, Pruthak, different. Understand Karma Yoga differently with your buddhi, understanding what you have to renounce clearly, and ignore, don't be ignorant, ignore that result. Pravadandi, never do. Who will never do? Na pandidaha. Such pandidaha, knowledgeable great people, will not reluctant to do work saying that I am going to renounce my activity. That will not happen. Ekamapyasthita samyak. Ekamapyasthita samyak. Ekam, only one. Even asthita, being situated in such a place, completely sitting inside that, ekam, samyak, only one you have to hold tightly. Ubhayor vindade phalam. Even if you hold one, which one? Either Sankhya or Karma, both result in the same, because Ubhayor vindade, in both way you go, Samyak, completely, the phalam, the result will be only one. Egamapistitha, the result, the ultimate where you will reach will become only one. Therefore, ignorant people only will think, na panditaha. Knowledgeable people have no confusion on what? Whether Sankhya is good, Karma is good, Sannyasa is good, Karma Sannyasa is good, Sannyasa Karma is good, don't doing work is good. Don't, such questions will not come. Why people will not have such question? Renouncing the action means the result of the action is renounced. That is Karma Sannyasa. That is equivalent to Sankhya. Why? Because logically you are thinking what is that will get you into Shreyas. So ultimately what will happen? You will only concentrate on work but not the result. Therefore you will reach into the highest level. That is what is that you will practice. And what is Karma Yoga? Karma Yoga is doing your action with full devotion. He is not even thinking about the result. There is somebody else who is renouncing the result with the logical thinking and getting involved into the work. That is fine. Without thinking of the result, you only concentrate and you enjoy your work. Because you enjoy your work, you are doing it. There are two things. Once you enjoy your work, you are doing it. The phalam, the result goes to different people, for the society, for the world, not for you. Second part, you are thinking about the result, and whichever is selfish, you will not do it. You will only do what is useful for human being. for the social activity. So both way, what is going to happen? The Brahmanishta is going to happen. You are meant by your birth itself, Brahma has given for doing such activities, and that automatically will come from you. So in both, what is common? Karma is common. One is Sankhya, thinking logically and then you are doing. The other one is without thinking, with the full bhakti, devotion you are doing. Both way, karma is common, and that is important. Both will result into public service for loka nanma. Any activity which you do in that bhavam is always the greatest. That will take you to the highest. Therefore, ignorant people only have such doubts. If you are not ignorant, you are wise. Pandidaha. If you are a pandita, if you are a logically good person, or you have bhakti, one of these you should have. Either logically you must be strong, or you must be totally devotee. If these two are not there, then you have confusion everywhere. That is what Bhagavan says here. Sankhya yogau pratak balaha pravadandina panditaha ekamapyastita samyak ubayor vindade phalam. Ubayor vindade phalam. Now, having learned this, if you look at the sloka number 3 and 2, you will realize what Bhagavan is saying. Because Bhagavan, all the 3 slokas together, on the 5 slokas, if you look at together, then you will understand what Bhagavan means. So, just read through this once again. Sannyasa karma yogascha nisreyasa karahubhau. Do your activity without any attachment and be into that yoga avastha. Tayostu karma sannyasat. Be a karma sannyasi. Karma yoga vishishyate. For all that, karma yoga is important. Therefore, action is important. Neyasya nitya sannyasi yo nadveshtina kamchati nirdvandohi mahabaho sugam bandhat pramuchyate. If you don't have attachment, you get into sukham. That result of free from these pair, which is where you have got desire and dveshti. All that will go from you. Sankhya yogau pradakbhala pravadandina pandidaha ega mapyasthita samyak ubayor vindade phalam. So, practicing the earnest thing, union of all the yogas inside one. That is what is going to happen, and that sadhana will lead you to what exactly is the supreme level, and that will become Shreyas for you. There are no two destinations. Destination is only one. Total work devoted for, not for you, but for the great benefit of many people around who are part of the society. When you do that, either you go through the Sankhya or you go to the Sannyasa, both will become one. That is what Bhagavan says. Now again, the earlier sloka needs little more clarification. If it is not clear, first sloka, second sloka, third sloka, fourth sloka, no problem. Because Bhagavan is going to give again clarification on that. What is the clarification on the earlier sloka? That is sloka number 5. Yat sanghe prapyate sthanam tadyo gairapi gamyate ekam sankhyam cha yogam cha ekam sankhyam cha yogam cha yak pashyati sapashyati. Don't worry. Even if I don't understand, you don't understand, nothing wrong. Because Bhagavan himself explained all these to Arjuna directly. Arjuna still had a question and he asked a question. That is why the repetition. Most of the things are repeated in Bhagavad Gita. If somebody can really, wise people can understand, it is only few number of slokas. Everything will be over. That is why some people will codify and then say 100 slokas is good enough. Some people say 18 slokas is good enough. Probably for somebody one sloka, one question, one answer. That is also good enough. In my book on Life Made Simple, I made one sloka, one answer. That is Bhagavad Gita. So all these are methodology leading us towards that ultimate goal. So let us look at Yat Sanghe Prapyate Sthanam Tadyogairapi Gamyate Ekam Sankham Cha Yogam Cha Yap Pashyadi Sapashyadi. What does it say? Sankhya Yogam Yat Sanghe Sankhya Yogam Prapyate Sthanam. What is that place which you can attain? That stage where you can attain Tat Yogairapi Gamyate. By worshipping, doing total devotion, every action which you do, surrender to Bhagavan, same place you can reach. Tat Yogairapi Gamyate. Through Sankhya Yoga you can reach there. Through logical thinking you can do your action and then reach Prapyade Sthanam. Whichever is your desire you can reach there. Tad Yogairapi Gamyate. In the other route when you go, you can also reach there. But wherever you go, Ekam Sankham Cha Yogam Cha. Either you go through the Sankhya Yogam with Jnanam or Karma Yoga with Sannyasam with the total devotion. So two things now. Sankhya Yogam with Jnanam, Karma Yoga with devotion. So two things have to be added together. Sankhya Yogam with Jnanam and Karma Yogam with devotion. Both way, what will happen? You will reach the same place. Why? Sankhya plus Yogam together is truth. So you are reaching to the truth. What is common in both? Karma is common in both. Ekam Sankhya Cha Yogam Cha. The renunciation of action through the thought process. Yogam, Karma Yoga with full devotion. Both will reach you to the same place. Yap Pashyadi Sapashyadihi. Yap Pashyadi. Whoever is doing that, seeing that, whoever is doing it means whoever is seeing it, whoever is looking at it, whoever is doing such an activity, Sapashyadihi actually is the person who is seeing that. Both without confusion, without duality, if we can look at this as a united single option. What is the option now? Sankhya Yogam plus Jnana Yogam plus devotion plus karma. Logically think, don't blindly do any job. Do it with full devotion, with full knowledge. Don't show bhakti without knowledge. Bhakti plus knowledge is essential. Logical thinking is essential. Understanding every aspect is essential. And with passion and devotion, with whole passion you should do it. Then you will reach into the highest level. What a beautiful concept is this. Sankhya plus Yogam, Sankhya plus Jnanam, action, work plus karma plus devotion. Karma sannyasa, Sankhya, Jnana, Yogam. That is actually sannyasam level. Sannyasam is not without knowledge, closing your eyes and sitting. Sannyasam is not wearing saffron. Sannyasam is understanding what is inside your hridayam. Hridaya guhara madhye kevalam brahma matram. Use your creativity. To use your creativity, you need knowledge. The creativity is not in thoughts, but in action. That means you should work. Therefore, this is a unique sloka where Bhagavan explains it very, 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 very clearly. Yat sanghe prapyate sthanam yat yogairapi gamyate ekam sankham cha yogam cha yap pashyadi sapashyadihi. What a great. So, it is not sannyasi, yet jnana, karma, sannyasa, nishta with logical. Earlier also we said, yukti yuktam upadeyam vachanam balakadapi anyatranamavatyajyam apyuktam brahmagadapi. Whenever somebody says, ask a question. What is the logic? Even a small child comes and tells you logically, you must accept it. But even if the greatest guru, even Brahma comes and tells you, now it is dark. Don't just believe just because you have bhakti on Bhagavan. Bhakti is not blindly believing somebody. Bhakti is asking question, understanding the concept, logically thinking. Sankhya is essential, logic is essential, thought process is essential. That is what? Karmam plus Jnanam plus Bhakti, everything together, not blind Bhakti. And devotional service is what exactly required. Therefore, the karma becomes the supreme state in which you can surrender everything to that supreme. Therefore, karma leads to karma sannyasa. Karma alone can also take you to supreme with these passion. So, which is greater? Karma is greater or karma sannyasa is greater is the question. Karma can take you to supreme. Karma can take you to supreme. Karma can take you to karma sannyasa, which can take you to supreme. So, which is better? Why do you want to go through sannyasa? Karma itself, you get work itself, you get devoted. Don't relinquish the result of the work. That is what is essential. Sometimes these sannyasis have got a great way of explaining and giving great lessons. I remember when I went to my Guru Mahamandaleshwar Himalayan Master Mahamandaleshwar Swami Vedabharati, I was given responsibility of conducting a conference. I was specially called there to take a review. There are a lot of volunteers, hundreds of them, who are all inmates in the ashram. I was in Delhi. I was called to Rishikesh. I went there. It is between Haridwar and Rishikesh. I went there, took a review, called each one of them. The whole concept of conference was mine. So Swamiji wanted me to see whether what I wanted is what is happening there. I took a review of everything. Night train, I have to return. I was so curious to give him the feedback. This is what I have done. Bhagavan called me for a dinner that I was supposed to go for train. I was in a hurry. And then we were having dinner. He was only explaining about the sabji and each wheat, the chapati which he gave. He was asking me how much could be the cost of this chapati. I said it could be some, okay, increased the cost and then said maybe 30-40 rupees. He said each chapati what you are eating cost 5,000 rupees because it is made out of lotus seeds. Lotus seeds. You know how many lotus seeds are required to make one chapati? And that is what he was feeding me. He was telling, when you are eating this, should you have to enjoy this or you want to tell me about the conference and what you have done through the whole day to take stock of this? He said, don't worry, you don't have to report to me. You are not my subordinate, I am not your boss. Reporting is not what I want. I know when Dr. TPS is here, you will do that job. That is why especially you are called here. You don't have to report to me. I know what you have done. So just leave it there. That is what actually the result of the action is not required if you are devoted to the work itself. You don't even have to tell this is what I have done to somebody if you are devoted to the work itself. The work itself will tell you the result is fine. That will take you to supreme state. So I have experienced that in my dealing with my Mahamandaleshwar. That is why they are called Mahamandaleshwar. During Kumbh Mela, the whole bunch of group of sannyasins will select one as the chief and that padavi is called Mahamandaleshwar. So a person who reached that level don't want somebody to report. When they call somebody, they know that this person can do these things. That is the experiential learning from such personalities. For them, renunciation is not there. Karma itself is renunciation. Now, the sloka number 6, where karma and karma sannyasa is understood properly and then says you can reach to supreme just by karma. Karma is more important. Sannyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptuma yogataha. Dukkhamaptuma yogataha. Yoga yukto munir brahma nachirena adigacchati. Sannyasastu mahabaho. There is renunciation. What is called renunciation? Mahabaho, hey Arjuna, what is called sannyasam? Therefore, renunciation is there. Dukkhamaptuma yogata, distress. Without karma, only renunciation will lead to distress. That is not what is required. Sannyasastu, renunciation. What should join with that? Karma should join. So karma sannyasam is there. Yoga yukta, munir, brahma. Yoga yukta. What is yogam? Yogam is always karma. The karma yogam alone, yuktam, that alone is the best. Munir brahma. That sort of Brahma, creative people, they keep on thinking about the action which they do. They are not worried about the result. Their action is devotional, their action is creative. Therefore, the result will become ultimate, the best. Najarena adigaschati. Quickly, they can reach into Supreme. Without looking at the result, you can reach into Supreme if you are totally devoted to your karma, but not repetitive karma, not copying. What is to be done? Creative. Every time be creative. The same 5th chapter, same slokas. Next time I have to explain, it has to be entirely different because that passion should have. You must become creative every moment. Many people think that teaching is a reproductive job. Teaching is never reproductive. It's a highly productive job. It's highly creative job. Because the teacher also grows along with that. Therefore, next time when the explanation is given, it becomes much higher than what is explained earlier. So you can go deeper and deeper and deeper. Learning is also like that. Learning and teaching, Jnanam is like that. Your karma is also like that. If somebody teaches same subject 30 years, it is not 30 years of teaching experience. 30 different classes, different grades, different levels, 30 different topics, or same topic, same class in different 30 style. Then it becomes a creative process. And such people who enjoys that passion, they get into the supreme happiness, blissfulness. That is what is the ultimate aim. Sannyasastu mahabaho dukkhamaptu mayogataha yoga yukta munir brahma najirena adigaschati. Najirena adigaschati. That is what all of us want. We will reach into that level. So this is sloka 1 to 6. Let us chant this once again. Sannyasa Yoga, Adhyayam 5, chapter number 5. Arjuna Uvacha Sannyasam Karmanam Krishna Punaryogam cha Shamsasi Yat Sreya Edayorekam Tanme Bruhi Sunishchitam. That is what Arjuna asks. Bhagavan Krishna gives answer. Bhagavan Uvacha Sannyasam Karma Yogascha Nisreyasa Karavubhu Tayostu Karma Sannyasat Karma Yogo Vishishyate Neyaha Sa Nitya Sannyasi Yo Nadveshti Nakamchati Nirdvando Hi Mahabaho Sugambhandat Pramuchyate Sankhya Yogau Prutak Bala Pravadandina Panditaha Ekamapyastidas Samyak Ubhayor Vindade Phalam Yat Sankhye Prapyate Sthanam Tadyogairapi Gamyate Ekam Sankhyam Jayogam Cha Yapashyati Sapashyati Sanyasastu Mahabaho Dukkha Maptuma Yogataha Yoga Yukto Munir Brahma Na Chirenadi Gaschati Najarini Chirenadi Gaschati. So, namaskaram to each one of you.